on the set. Was last year the last season or?
Yeah, last year was
Oh,
the last show aired in December, the last show ever. But we actually
wow.
finished shooting it in July of last year.
Okay. Oh
Well, it
yeah.
was
Wow.
weird because we were finished, but yet, it was still like half a season was airing. So that felt really weird. We had already closed all the offices and everything. But most of kind of
Wow.
the, parties and stuff were sort of people coming together and we hadn't seen each other in a few months to do the final, goodbye. But
Oh,
yeah,
wow. How many seasons did you have?
It was 15 or 14.
14. Well,
Wow.
it was
Yeah.
technically
Wow.
15, Brandon, you're right. But I mean, they called it 14, but it was really 14 and a half, I guess.
And Joe, you probably were just a teenager
When it
or
started.
when it started,
Yeah.
when your
Even
mom
younger.
started.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So you grew up on the
For sure.
set. You
Oh
grew up with
yeah,
the
no, I
show.
I visited a
You were
lot.
were you in college? He was
That's
in
when I did my
college.
first
Yeah, yeah,
episode,
yeah,
but I think she's saying
yeah.
when
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I
Oh
was
yeah,
younger, like I
totally.
went to the
Yeah,
set like to see you.
totally. Yes.
That is
Two
amazing.
questions to ask you, Joe. One, where you went to college?
Okay. I went to Marist College.
Okay, nice, nice. What'd you
Yeah,
say?
actually it's university now. So when I went to Marist, it was Marist College, but I think this year or was it
Yeah.
last year they made it Marist University.
Okay, well, congratulations on that. And then the other question I had too, Siobhan, where'd you go to college as well? If you don't mind me.
So I went to New York Institute of Technology, which was really a technical college that I know. And it's funny, I don't even think they have a film department anymore, but
Yeah.
it was like very technical. So it was all film, TV, radio, that kind of, hands-on.
Holy smokes. Okay. And then where I wanted to go from there was this. So I was watching Blue Bloods, and then Joe, when I was putting together that little reel that I had for you today, with you
Yeah,
guys'
that's
introduction,
awesome.
I started realizing is Blue Bloods based off of you guys' family?
It's not. It's
Okay.
actually a totally fictional family.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Okay. Because I was like,
There
because I
are
know
lots
when
of there's lots of though cop families in the NYPD. In fact, I just went to they had like an International Women's Day, and Abigail Hawke, who played Baker, was
okay.
the speaker, and she asked me to go, so I went, and we met so many. Like there was this one family that literally the mom, her two daughters, and her granddaughter were all cops.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if they were from the Bronx, maybe, but yeah, it was very interesting.
Okay.
No.
What was so amazing when Brandon told me he was going to be on Blue Bloods, I went to church and I told my pastor, I said, Brandon is going to be on Blue Bloods. She said, that's her favorite show.
Man,
Wow.
everyone loves that. I love Blue. Everyone loves Blue Bloods.
Do you think they will come back with something? Do you think you'll write something like a spin-off of
People
that
love that show. I hear about
Well,
all. People
yeah,
love it.
there is a spin-off that Donnie Wahlberg is doing, but yeah, I'm not involved in that one. But I am working on another pilot, but it's not a Blue Blood spin-off. But I'm
Okay.
writing something right now. Yeah.
Well, good. That's what we like to hear. Hey, we know you're gonna be successful. We have a lot of the. Well, one, people want Blue Bloods back. I'm just saying I want it back too
I know,
myself.
me too.
Yeah. That's why I'm so glad. Whoops. One of the reasons I'm glad you came on was because I'm having everybody I've worked with. I've been very blessed in my career, and just like you have, because we have so many mutual people connected that I'm having them all on because a lot of us are out of work. So I figured if we
Yeah.
bring enough of the network back in, we have the whole entire infrastructure already.
I know. I feel bad about that because I keep in touch with a lot of the crew because you're working with the same people for 14 years, and they were really, really a great bunch, as you know. And
Yeah.
I feel terrible that so many people are out of work because in New York now there's not as much production as there used to be. So
Yeah.
so I'm writing as fast as I can.
No, you're doing like you guys are doing great. And one of the things I was kind of telling you, Joe, before, if there's people that you guys want to interview together, we can always you can put on your page and we can cycle it through the Buckle Up podcast, and I'll have it because I'm interested with everybody. I'm doing the cruise. I'm doing everybody.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
So like I know that you have those personal relationships with them, so you guys could totally record that kind of stuff and get it back to me, and I can post it on the podcast.
Yeah. Tell
If
us
you
what
guys-
you're up to.
yeah.
I've been very blessed. So the Lord's blessed me. I just recently worked for Tyler Perry again.
Oh, cool.
On Beauty in Black. But when I went to go shoot FBI in New York, it was in the Blue Bloods off. It was in the whole entire Blue Blood stages.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And so I literally went there and I was like, because I shot that in October and November. Staying with my godfather again. I'm moving to New York anyway.
Who was the director?
It
Did you
was Alex Chapman from
Apple?
the Alex. He
Yeah.
was the director on that, and I was like, Alex, you don't remember? We did the one when right when COVID happened, when we were all working together. We didn't know there was COVID.
Yes.
It literally Alex was shooting that episode, so I was like, Alex, man, so I worked with you on Blue Bloods. Oh my gosh, Brandon, that's right. So
Yes.
we had a blast. Alex did a phenomenal job. It was Alex.
Yeah, he's great. He's
Yes,
terrific.
he really is. He really is.
I'm so amazed. The reason I look at the screen at you all and then I look at Brandon, I'm always amazed about the people he learns in his career or he comes in contact with his career. And then I, being a Southern girl, I just said, oh, wow, this is amazing. This is my child. And I know you
Oh,
say
that's
the
right.
same thing.
And you
And
have
you
every
probably say,
right to
that's
say
my
that.
mom.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And so I look at you all talking and I'll look back. I would really say y'all because I'm from the South. But my mother was a French teacher, English teacher. So she said, Carolyn, it's you all. Are you? And so she would always say that. So I hear her in my head. She's gone on to be with the Lord. She's in heaven. So anyway, so I want to say y'all so badly, but I
I
can hear
actually
her
love it.
voice.
When we just came back from South Carolina, my husband and I I
Oh,
was like, wow, everyone really does say y'all.
yeah.
I'm like, wow, it's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's like I've changed it over a couple of years, but y'all is it's so much quicker to say sometimes.
It's true.
Yeah, but I mean I spend a good amount of time in New York now as I'm moving back to New York. Like
So
for
you're
good,
moving
hopefully.
back to New York. I got to hear about this.
Hey, are you going
Yeah,
back?
so what's that?
Are you going to live in Queens again, or?
Yeah, I fell in love with Queens, man. I fell in love with Queens. My goddaughter, so my godfather's Italian and my godmother is she's Indian from London. And they
Right.
have these two beautiful daughters, Lily Rose and Angeline, who I take them to school in the morning. They help me with my dialogue for Blue Bloods and so from the time they were 3 to now they're 10 and 11, they've helped me run all my dialogue that I've done. We literally do the dialogue in the house, and so I want to be able to be closer to them and be able to like help them out when they go to high school and be able to just. I really enjoy walking to school every morning. I literally get back if I'm out at nighttime. I
Yeah.
make sure that I'm home by 7 o'clock in the morning so I can walk them to school.
Oh, that's great.
The one thing about New York, are you all from there?
Yeah, we
Yes.
actually live in Queens.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Brandon becomes a different person. The minute we
I light
fly
up.
into New York and we are walking the streets, he turns into someone. I said, look at him. He's exploding in here. He's just enjoying all about it. So I'm so happy for him to move from California to New York. And I love it because I can drive there or catch the train there quicker than flying to California.
Oh, really?
Yes,
But I'm in South Carolina now.
Yeah.
I lived in Delaware for a while, but I'm in South Carolina now.
Oh,
And
okay.
so it'll be easier for me to come this way
Yeah.
and to enjoy life, to go to the plays and see everything
Yes.
that you all do
Oh,
there.
that's good. I didn't realize. I thought you were in LA when you guys were. Okay, so this is great. You'll both be on the same coast.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I've been out there for 16 years, but when I started working in 2015, I started booking everything over here. So I started working in Atlanta, Miami, and then New York. And so I was always just flying back. But I was literally bi-coastal, but I was spending the majority of the time here because I was helping my family and my dad and my grandfather when he was still alive, and then dad. So it was just easier for me to commute from here. So now I've been ready to be back in New York forever. So now it's official.
That is great. And I totally get the whole thing you're saying about energy because I think New York has an energy
It
that's
does.
really does.
contagious, and you just feel it when you're in the city.
Yeah.
I
you
think
really
part
do.
of it's just that it's such a walking city that there's just so many people and you just get a lot of energy and there's so much creativity.
Absolutely. No, I love it. Like my dad and my mom were the first ones to take me to New York shortly after 9/11.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
about a year or so after that. And I walked the streets. Well, mom came for a little bit, but then I walked the streets with my dad. And my dad loved New York just as much as I love New York.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when you brought me back, and Joe, I appreciate you all, Siobhan, you talking to me, and then Joe, you telling her that about my dad passing. But
Yeah.
when I was there, the reason I was so emotional because I remember just walking those streets with my dad that day, and so like
Yes.
that was like impacted me to like the greatest. I like walked some of the same streets as him, so that's why I have so much love for you all, and you just talking to me like a mom. As I said, like I literally I was emotional wreck holding it in, and I was like, please don't let anybody ask me about my dad. And you're like, Brandon, Joe told me about your dad. And I was like, oh.
He
I needed.
he needed you all.
I did.
He really
Yeah.
did,
I did.
because he gave up his career for about 4 months, I don't know, 5 months, to be in Richmond, Virginia, taking care of his father with pancreatic cancer. And that was really something. That was a sacrifice. So at the time, the Lord made it so that you were right in his life to be that positive thing that he needed after going through so many things.
No, I feel like that too. I feel like, and I think I might have said that to you then,
You
but
did.
that your dad was the one that, he didn't want him to give up. So he made
Yeah.
sure he got that role.
Oh yeah,
Made sure
absolutely.
we were working together.
Yeah.
And I do think that'll happen your whole life. And I know what you're saying about New York because my parents immigrated to New York City. So they
Okay,
were
from where?
And my dad was like your dad. Like from the time he got here, he loved it, loved the city. And so they kind of instilled that in me.
Oh,
I mean,
good.
they loved America as a whole, but like New York City was special to them,
Yes, ma'am. And I was so, and I really appreciate that because like when you took me over there, you literally like I felt like you held the set and talked to me for the amount of time that I needed. That you literally, it wasn't like a producer or writer talking to me. It was literally a mom talking to me.
And I feel that spirit with them because
Yeah.
I can feel that spirit. I feel your spirit. Brandon feels it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not talking all that, but
Oh,
you
you're
can really feel it when someone's genuine.
Yeah, and it just really like for me, I just what I needed in that moment, and I was okay. Like I didn't have any, I didn't even think about crying after that. I was actually fine from that moment. But you took that time and you told me about your dad, and that meant so much to me because your dad meant a lot to you. So that really impacted me in like a way that I can't thank you enough for that. I needed that at that time.
And it's
Joe,
so,
are
I
you
didn't
working?
realize it was so impactful, but it's really special to me that it was.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I think
Absolutely.
that's the one thing that sometimes is missing in the industry, and
It is.
it's the humanity, and I think we really have to keep that going because I think it's lacking in some areas of this, as you know, entertainment industry. Cold-hearted
Ruthless, yeah.
business.
Yes.
The opportunity you have when you meet good people, you have to make sure that you stick with them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I just had to say one thing, then Joe, I want to ask you a question after that. But I want to say, like in New York, in New York, Atlanta, like pretty much a place on the East Coast, I've actually like it's been some of the most peaceful sets I've ever been on in my lifetime. I'm like, I go back to like California. I'm like, guys, you won't believe everybody's so nice. Like, there's no one